friends, welcome to Happy Nursing. This is Ela. Today we will discuss the theory of Dorothy Johnson's behavioral system. I already finished the nursing theories, but this was a requested topic from one of my viewers. So today I am going to discuss that. Dorothy Johnson was greatly influenced by Florence Nightingale's book Notes on Nursing and proposed the theory of behavioral system in 1968. According to her theory, a human being is identified as a behavioral system which consists of several concepts and subconcepts. We will have a look into those in detail. The concepts and meta-paradigms of this theory consist of human beings, environment, health, nursing, system, behavioral system and subsystem. Human beings are seen to have two major systems, the biological system and behavioral system. It is the role of medicine to focus on biological system, whereas nursing focuses on behavioral system. For example, consider a patient admitted to hospital for any illness, say fever. Now whatever biological symptoms he is having due to fever like body ache, hyperthermia, headache, etc. will be controlled by the medicines. But often we have seen we remain disturbed or depressed or irritated in a period of illness. We don't feel good, we don't feel energetic or enthusiastic because of the fever. Our mood remains irritated, right? So that time what happens? Our behavior towards others also gets changed. That is the behavioral system, which can be controlled by nursing measures. The human being always strives to adjust to the environment at any cost and regain balance between self and environment. Next is environment. Environment is such a surrounding around the human beings which involves interior stressors, due to which he finds the need to adjust. For example, the patient who is admitted in the hospital, she is always surrounded by the healthcare workers, hospital food and equipment, IV fluids, injections, etc. So that makes her mood low. Maybe she is thinking she will never be able to leave this place. That is the stress created in her mind due to her environment. Next is health. Health is seen as the opposite of illness. In illness, we find it difficult to cope up with the stress. At health, we will be able to adjust or adapt to the situation efficiently. Added to that, health will reflect some degree of regularity in our behavior. For example, when we are sick, we feel lethargic, irritated. Sometimes we snap out on people. We don't like to do our daily life activities. But as soon as we regain our health, we again start to eat and sleep on time, do our daily activities, don't generally snap out. So there comes a regularity in our behavior. That helps us to distinguish between health and illness. Nursing is defined as an external regulatory force that acts to preserve the organization and integrate the patient's behavior at an optimum level under those conditions in which the behavior constitutes a threat to physical or social health, or in which illness is found. Okay, so the definition is a complex one, but we can simplify it. First of all, nursing is an external regulatory force. What does that mean? It works from outside, which helps in regulating our environment. Next, it says nursing works for the preservation of organization and integration of patient's behavior at an optimum level. Organization means the system of human beings, which we discussed earlier. Nursing helps in preserving that, saves it from being disintegrated. Our behavior often gets off track when we are stressed. It can cause several behavioral problems, that is called disintegration. Nursing prevents that and helps us to maintain an optimum level of organization. Next question is, when do we need this kind of help? When our behavior constitutes a threat to physical or social health, or in which illness is found. When we are stressed, be it for any illness or any other factor, our behavior can pose a threat both to our physical health and social health. How? Often you may have noticed when we are stressed, we don't eat properly, we don't sleep properly, sometimes we don't take care of ourselves out of anger, guilt or other complex emotions caused by stress. So that is a harm to our physical health. Again, when we remain stressed, often we end up isolating ourselves. We drive friends away from us, shout at people, speak ill to them. Maybe we don't mean it, but we end up doing these kinds of things out of stress. So that creates a distance between us and our friends, hampers our social relationships and thus is a harm to social health. Next is system. System functions as a whole under organized independent interaction of its parts. For example, our organ systems include different parts which work all together in an organized way. For example, organs like mouth, tongue, salivary glands, esophagus, liver, pancreas, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, etc. work together to form the digestive system. Same way, different aspects related to our mental health like our family, financial conditions, relationships, our mood and emotions, etc. act all together to preserve our behavioral system. Behavioral system is defined as the system through which man indicates his own state. As discussed earlier, behavioral system is an integral part of a human being. Each of them has their own behavioral system. For example, one who likes to enjoy everything, light-hearted kind of person has one type of behavioral system. Again, another person who likes to remain very serious has another type of behavioral system. Next is subsystem. It is said to be a mini system which is maintained concerning the entire system or its environment is not disturbed. It means it is a small part of a whole system. For example, our digestive system consists of several organs which are the small parts included in it. Now suppose we are suffering from indigestion. So what happens? The system of digestion is disturbed. As a result, now the small parts will also start to get affected. We may suffer from stomach pain, constipation, which is a problem of intestine. We may have loss of appetite, where our mouth will not be able to take any food. So the mini systems are getting affected because the entire system is disturbed right now. So the smaller parts are known as the subsystems. Same way you can use the example in case of our behavioral system also. We are done with the concepts of system, behavioral system and subsystem. Now coming to the sub-concepts. The sub-concepts are structure, function, variable, boundaries, stability, homeostasis, stressor, tension, instability and set. First one is structure. Structure means the parts which make up the whole system. As we discussed in the concept of system, that the digestive system consists of several organs like mouth, tongue, salivary glands, esophagus, liver, pancreas, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, etc. If one of these is missing, the digestive system will not be complete, right? So all these organs form the structure of the system. Next is function. It is the consequence or purpose of an action. For example, the organs involved in our digestive system have their own functions, right? Their purpose is to maintain stability of the system in an organized way to continue the process of digestion. Again, it may be due to the consequences or result of an action. For example, we had something spicy to eat. What will happen? The organs will function likewise and may produce certain symptoms. So, function is a set of tasks to fulfill an action or which is caused due to an action. Next is variable. Dorothy has defined variables as factors outside the system which influence the system's behavior, but the system lacks the power to change. What does it mean? It means variables are such factors which cause the system to alter. It is similar to the variables I explained in Betty Newman's theory. For example, if we take man as a system, he may be stressed due to different reasons. What will happen? His system will be altered. He will feel low, his all over performance may be affected, but he doesn't have any control over it, right? So the system lacks the power to change itself. Next is boundaries. Boundary is the point that differentiates the interior of the system from the exterior. Do you remember, friends, I told you about the concept of space in the theory of goal attainment? Boundary is also something similar. There's a comfort zone whenever we interact with other people. We don't go beyond that. Neither we want other people to cross it. That is called boundary. It is similar to its literal meaning. As we protect our house or garden from animals or thieves by putting a boundary around it, the same way we also protect ourselves by putting an invisible boundary around us. Next is stability. We all know what stability means. We have often heard this conversation, doctor asking sister how is the patient and the nurse replying, sir, the patient is stable. So what does stable mean here? The patient must be having some symptoms which are relieved now, or they are less, not affecting the patient anymore, or are within the tolerable range. So that means the patient is stable. Similarly, Dorothy has used the term stability here with the same meaning but from a different aspect. Here stability means when someone is fully in peace or in harmony with the environment and himself. For example, if we are stressed regarding something, we will always think of that. Maybe physically we are okay, but mentally we will never be in peace, right? Our close ones will always find out that something is disturbing us by looking at our behavior. That means our stability is not maintained here. The main difference with the former stability is that being physically healthy not always means that we are stable, and being unhealthy doesn't always mean being unstable. We have often seen people around us who are suffering from a terminal illness, but still they have accepted the truth. They have chosen to live with that peacefully, right? Such a state is called stability. Next is homeostasis, which is the process of maintaining stability. It is a process by which people regulate themselves to adjust to the changing conditions, with the help of which they maintain their stability. For example, one who is suffering from a terminal illness, how is she maintaining her stability? She is meditating, listening to spiritual talks, spending time with her near and dear ones. Somehow she has made herself understand that there is nothing good in being depressed, and she is trying that day after day to maintain that stability. She has formed some principles in her, or she has formed a fixed routine so that she doesn't have to think about the illness. That is her way of maintaining stability. This whole process is called homeostasis. Next is stressor. This is a very well known topic to you guys. I hope you remember we studied stressor in a very descriptive way in Betty Newman's nursing theory. Stressor is such a factor that influences our system either in a positive or a negative way. It may be internal, that is within us, or external, that is caused by others, and it disturbs our state of stability either for a short term or long term. For example, everybody around me is performing well in academics, so I thought I will study harder and I also can do the same. That is a positive stressor. But if I become depressed or frightened by looking at others, that means it is a negative stressor for me. Another way may be internal, which happens when everyone around is good to me, but I have something going on in my mind continuously, or it may be external. Suppose all was good, suddenly I had a bad fight with my friend. That is a stressor which came from outside. Next is tension. Tension is defined as the system's adjustment to demands, change or growth, or to actual disruptions. There will be times when our system faces demands, like a working mother. She is working outside, looking after her baby, doing the household works, doing her office work, so she is demanded for several commitments. Again, there will be times when our system changes or a growth occurs. As we grow up from infants to toddlers, then to adolescents, and then to teenagers, and lastly to adults, we face many challenges in our life which are new to us, and sometimes our system gets disrupted because of some unexpected incidents like the loss of a loved one. All this forces our system to adjust, to make changes within ourselves. We are strained. This straining is called tension. It may be constructive or destructive. Some people, when they are strained, say due to a very busy schedule, they sit and make a routine, or maybe they start to work even more harder than before. So that is a constructive effect. Whereas some people can be upset, suffer from negative thinking, or develop a giving up attitude. That is a destructive effect. Next is instability. This is such a state where our energy to maintain stability is totally depleted, something like the entropy which we studied in Betty Newman's theory, where I am no longer capable of continuing the process of homeostasis. This is the end point where our system gets disrupted. Or you can also correlate this with the compromised process discussed in Roy's adaptation model. I have given the links of some theories in the description box which are closely related to the concepts here and will help you to understand better. You can check those out. Next is set. We have often heard things like he is said to speak those words. Set means making someone inclined to a specific attitude. For example, we have a friend who is very afraid of new things like new jobs, new places, new people, etc. Now suppose he got a prestigious offer for a new job. What will happen? Most of us will try to grab it, but he may deny the proposal. Why? Because he is likely to do so. We know him by his behavior. So that is called set. Although he has many alternatives, still he will behave in a certain way which is desired of him. So today we have learned about the concepts and sub-concepts of Dorothy Johnson's behavioral system. Please try to watch the interrelated videos. It will help you to clarify. Like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel if my videos are useful to you.